But I also, if you're talking about that tune-up, what would you consider a tune-up then?
Good question. I wish I had a good answer. Now, what you need to do is, when it comes to the tune-up, simplify your diet. Simplify. Don't load too much in. One of the beauties of taking in fiber, and fiber, like when they take a whole grain and they remove the hull, and then they take out the sperm, which is called the germ in wheat. It's wheat germ, oat germ, and they take that hull and they grind it up. And once they grind that up, then it's called bran. And it acts like a magnet for old cholesterol deposits. So if you've got, see, when people change their diet, they may go vegan, but all the cholesterol they've been building up over the years, which the body doesn't know how to deal with, starts storing. One, it gets in the blood. And like sometimes I meet guys at the gym that are 20 years younger than I am, and they're on all kinds of medication. You know, because we'll talk, and you know, a guy will tell me, "Oh no, my cholesterol's at 200." I said, "Well, do you take medication?" "Oh, of course I do." "What do you expect? I'm 48." And it's like,
oh my goodness.
And so, if you took one drop of blood and you traced it from, say, where it's leaving the heart, and you follow it through the body to where it began, it takes approximately 1 minute. Now, in order to do that, the heart has to pump in a way that it contracts, which is systolic, and then it dilates, which is diastolic. Contracts and dilates. Well, in order to get that blood through in 1 minute, on the average, it contracts at approximately 120 millimeters and then dilates at approximately 80 millimeters. So it's sort of going like this. Now, that's if your blood is like water. But if you're putting fats in there, and it doesn't have to be animal fat, it can even be vegetable fat if you're using too much, eating too many nuts, too many avocados, you know. What happens is the body doesn't know what to do with all this fat, and a lot of it hangs around in the blood, makes the blood thicker, becomes more viscous. And in order to get that same drop of blood through in 1 minute, instead of the heart going like this, it has to start going like this. And because of the ripple effect, after the heart contracts, wherever it causes this ripple effect, that wherever you can feel the artery close to the surface, like at the wrist, on the neck, even the back of the leg, you can pick up that pulse. And what's happening is, instead of doing 120/80, it starts doing 160 over 110. So instead of doing this, it's going boom, and that pushes the pressure up. Now, as the blood vessels move further away from its center, which is the heart, in order to maintain what's called homeostasis, adequate pressure, the walls become thinner and they become less wide. They become more narrow. And so what happens is, a lot of the foods people are told to drink milk for calcium. Where do they think a cow is getting its calcium from? It's not from drinking milk, it's from eating greens. There's a book put out by the United States government. If you go to any federal building, anywhere, any city that has a federal building in the United States, they have a bookstore. And they're books published by the United States government. There's one called Composition of Foods. And it's close to an inch thick. And it gives a breakdown of every food we eat in our culture, and vitamin mineral balance and protein and all that. If you look, dark greens have twice as much calcium as cow's milk. Actually, if they break it down into 1,000 parts water-free substance and 1,000 parts water-free substance, dark greens have 24.48 parts calcium. Cow's milk has 12.24 parts. Exactly half as much calcium. And another thing, it's not how much you take. It's how much your body can handle. And so what protein will do, it will put weight on you, which I'm sure many people are interested in. I assume they're interested in it because so many people are overweight. So, I mean, look at the most powerful animals on the planet. I mean, if you created, say, a football team, and you had a gorilla, a bull, a rhinoceros, an elephant. I mean, they're all vegetarian. all right? Most powerful animals on the planet. The natural carnivores, look at a cat or a dog, how much they sleep in a day because their body's so toxic, all right? A lion sleeps up to 20 hours a day. And so the animals that, see, most people, if you ask them about aging, say, I don't want to get older. Well, what are the signs of youth? If you look at a child is always flexible. If you look at a child can take its foot and bring it all the way up, and play with its foot, Oh, excuse me. And so, well, it's easy for you to laugh. And so, as we go through the aging process, we lose our flexibility. But we lose it not only physically, we lose it mentally and emotionally. If you're around someone that's chronologically older, but they're open, you say, hey, those cliffs are so beautiful. Would you like to go climbing? A person, say, 75, and they say, yeah, I love it. When can we go? They're young inside.
Yes.
Now it's possible to be young in mind and not in body. So what we'd like to create a balance. Like I eat simply, but see, one of the beautiful things about going more raw is helps to break down things at a cellular level, and once it breaks down at the cellular level, it goes from the cell level into the bloodstream. But it's in a sort of a mucoid state, thick, viscous state, and it has to continually course through your body until the organs of elimination can break it down and eliminate it. And the organs of elimination are easy to remember. Is an easy mnemonic: KILLS, KILLS, kidney, intestine, liver, lungs, and skin. All right? And so if you overload the system, you start feeling really crappy. Most people are so toxic to begin with. If they just miss a meal, they start getting a headache, and because of the internal cleansing that's beginning. And so they eat something, especially something concentrated, and the cleansing stops, and they say, oh, that's what it was, I needed to eat. But, when you think about the three main, and there are all kinds of food we take in. What we think is a form of food.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's coming from someone who's probably married. And what we listen to, say Mozart as opposed to, say, heavy metal. The aroma of a rose. What we breathe. What we say. Often we'll show people things that some of the yogic moves we do, and people say, I could never do that. And when we hear that, one of the first things we say to people is, especially if you keep saying that.
That's right. If you say that you can't, you won't be able to. You won't be able to. So it's so important. And what I'm hearing is so many wonderful, I'm hearing just great factual information about this. So it's so important what we put in our diet. You have a friend of yours. We were chatting before the interview, and you got a little choked up because a very dear friend of yours is having a significant, well, not a real significant, but is having a birthday.
Yeah, actually, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was Jack LaLanne. He turned 96.
And Jack LaLanne, as we see on all the commercials and the adverts, looks fabulous. Just, yes.
Actually, I got to tell you, Dr. Miller and I went up to see him several years ago, and his wife is 10 years younger. Elaine is 86. But this was several years ago, and he said, he said, it takes a lot to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, leave a hot woman, and go to a cold gym. So, actually, yeah, he's a sweet guy. He's a Libra, and we're both Librans. And we're almost about the same height. And I was started in lecturing by Paul Bragg, although I was into nutrition about 8 years before I met Paul.
And this is the Bragg who has all the Bragg aminos that you can buy at Whole Foods and all sorts of nutritional stores.
Yeah, actually, when I met the Braggs, Paul and Patricia had over 300 products on the market. And after Paul passed away on December 7, 1976, Patricia sort of just cut everything down. And but now she's building up the product line again over the past 5 years.